One thing I admire about animation today is that we're finally getting some gender equality. Back in the 80s, TV shows were always about either guys or about girls. They were either targeted to boys or targeted to girls. He-Man, Smurfs, stuff like that, they were predominantly male-dominated. Things like She-Ra and Strawberry Shortcake, My Little Pony, they were predominantly female-dominated, and the two worlds never crossed each other. In cartoons today, you have things like Young Justice, Legend of Korra, Adventure Time, shows where the female characters are just as strong, if not stronger, than the male ones, and where the male to female ratio of characters is a little more balanced out without feeling too forced to the point where you're watching something like Captain Planet, where they had to have a representative from every country and gender possible. And in the case of some shows that have spanned the decades over multiple reboots, you can really see the change. Compare the 1980s Ninja Turtles to the one we're getting today, and you'll see a huge difference between the April who used to get captured all the time and was basically useless, and the one who still gets captured a lot, but at least she has the skills and powers to fight back and can sometimes win the day, save the day, defeat a few minor enemies before she finally gets overpowered. She's learning from Master Splinter. She has that special psychic power now. She's training, she's improving, she's getting better, she has weapons now. The old April was just a Lois Lane knockoff who poked her nose around, digging up news and inviting trouble to come find her. It seemed like every day she was tied up and captured or something else. I can't think of many 80s Turtles episodes where April actually did something useful. In the 90s she was a little more capable, but she wasn't a very dominant character either. And shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra are really great, filled with lots of strong characters of both genders. And you don't really even pay attention to the races, almost like it doesn't matter. It's not really in your face what race or gender these characters are. There's so much going on between those two series. In a series like, say, Captain Planet again, you had the black guy, the Russian chick, the Asian chick, the American, the South American little native Indian boy. You didn't have the Planeteers so much as you had the token representatives of their races and cultures. Everyone on Captain Planet played up the stereotype of their race and gender, and they were really only those races and genders to represent the illusion of equality and diversity. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, I don't see colors or genders when I look at these characters. I see the characters. I don't see Toph as the blind girl. I see her as the awesome girl. I don't see Katara and Sokka as the Eskimo kids. I see them as the kids who help save the day. And that's what's awesome about animation. But here's the point of that long, rambly setup. And that's the fact that when you go to a toy store today, you still see the segregation of the aisles. You see the girls' toys and you see the boys' toys. You don't see just toys. The girls' toys are in the pink aisle, the boys' toys are in the exciting extreme aisle. Girls' toys have clothes that you can change and hair that you can brush, and they're accessorized for personal grooming and housekeeping. They're thin, they're curvy, they're soft. Boys' toys are muscular and macho and extreme, and they have big, bulgy, ripply muscles, and they carry giant weapons. They shoot things, they explode, they make noise. They're made for battle and action. It still feels like a segregation. It still feels like a society where we want the girls to be at home in the kitchen taking care of the baby, and we want the boys to have the action and the violence and the fighting and all that sort of thing. Toys are still trying their hardest to make sure that the guy doesn't pick up the girl's toy and then starts identifying with the girl and wishing that he too could wear a dress and have pretty hair and makeup and stay home and take care of the kids. Whereas the girl toy, it feels like the girl toy does not want the girl to get out there and be assertive and aggressive and have some kind of epic adventure with fighting evil and saving the world. It feels like the toy lines are still trying to separate the gender roles and force them into their stereotypical places. You look through the toy aisles and you go to the boys aisle, and it's nearly impossible to find the girl action figure. You go to the girl aisle, it's nearly impossible to find the male doll. Now you can say whatever you want in the comments to prove me wrong, but one of these days I'd really like to see Ninja Barbie and Single Father Cybernetic Mutant Dinosaur. Until they make that change, I'm not going to accept the idea that the toys are equal. Thank you for watching, and good night.